My name's Colin. Welcome to 4oz Insight. It's been a minute. I got this channel going a little while ago. Real life got in the way, but um, the events over the weekend gave me the motivation to get back in front of the camera. So the big thing, another controversial decision, Paddy Pimlet, Gordon, who won, who didn't win. Everyone thinks Paddy lost. Right, let me get this bit out of the way. I'm biased. I'm hugely biased. I've been watching Paddy for some time. I watched him way back in Cage Warriors. He was an excellent champion, excellent fighter. Definitely now sort of grown into the 155ers. He's a big lad. And, you know, all those people that say, oh, he's trying to be like Conor, it's all a bit of an act. This kid has been like that from day dot. He speaks the same way, he acts the same way, whether there was 5 people in the crowd or 20,000 people in the crowd. He just doesn't care. That's him. He is him. He will always be him. People need to get used to it. He's not trying to be like anyone. He's definitely not a hype train. So, with my biases right here, and I will try to get rid of them wherever I can, because like I said, huge fan. What happened this weekend? So we look at the judges' scorecards. 2 of them give the first 2 rounds to Paddy. 1 gives 1 and 3 to Gordon. That's the one that people should be questioning. Like how you give the 3rd round to Paddy is truly insane. But did he, you know, was Gordon robbed? I think it's closer than we think. Now, that being said, when I watched it live, Paddy lost. When I watched it live, Paddy lost. 100% he lost. In my mind, in that moment, kind of knew he would get the decision anyway, because sometimes I feel like the judges know what the UFC want. But definitely lost. Then I watched it back. Still maybe, and then I try. Listen, I'm no judge. I'll try to be the judge. I'll try and break it down as best as I can to give myself an unbiased opinion. And I can see why they gave the first round to Paddy. Paddy comes out strong around the 4-minute mark. Gordon starts cracking him for about a minute. Then it kind of swings back to sort of tapping each other. There's a bit of a scramble at the end. They're fighting for a whizzer. Paddy rolls to guard, or what it looks like. So if I'm a judge, I think that one's a coin flip. But I'm also pretty sure all 3 judges gave that to Paddy. Second round, I think is Paddy's. And like I said, I'm biased. I think it is. The 3rd round is definitely not. Is it a tight fight? 100%. Is it the kind of result we would look for? No. Does it open question about judging? Yes. Like, I honestly can't sit here and tell you, after watching MMA fighting for years now, like years and years and years, like all the way back into Pride, and you know, Bushido, like I still don't know what the judges are scoring. I don't know. I mean, Dana White come out in the press conference, blamed Gordon's camp for telling him to, you know, that he'd won 2 rounds and to take a particular strategy in round 3. I thought that was harsh. I don't think they told him that at all. From what I've heard on camera, it looks like they told him it was a close fight. But how do you score someone pressing someone up against the cage? Now, the grappling diehards will say, well, you should be able to reverse the decision. But when it's on the ground and the person's in top position, not doing anything, not progressing, we ask them to be stood up. On the flip side, if we go back to Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, the same referee breaking the action on the fence could arguably have cost Usman the title. Because he put him back out centre, head kick, boom. Can't do it as well as Leon. I need to practice that. I thought it was a fucking excellent line. So Dana comes out, blames the ref, Mr. Herb Dean, who I'm no big fan of anyway, blames Gordon. Paddy comes out and says he clearly won 2 rounds. Nah, sorry, Paddy. I don't think I don't think either of them could walk away and say, 100% I won those first 2 rounds. Now, so what are they scoring? Significant strikes. That one always bugs me. What's a significant strike? The one that does damage? Is it the shot that sets up the shot? Because that's bloody significant. How many people, will urge fighters to use their jab? Now, jabs can be deadly and they can hurt, but when they land, are they counted as significant? What's a kick? Is that significant? Is it significant where it lands or how many times it lands? Is the first leg kick significant? Or the 8th, 9th, 10th that's now impeding the movement of your opponent? It's tricky and they're not transparent. Is a takedown the same as a right hook or a left hook or a cross or a teep or a calf kick? I don't know. Is a submission attempt more valuable than a defense of a submission? And I think this is where we find ourselves. Now, as fans, we go on our gut. We have to go on our gut. My gut told me Paddy lost. In the moment, Paddy lost. Watching it back, I could make a case. I could make a case that he won. And I've convinced myself he won. Because I'm biased. So in the back of my mind, I vaguely remember Goddard once talking, I think he was doing a ref school. I don't know. I think he helps people become referees, and they talk about judging. He might even do some stuff with judges. And I remember him saying that he once spoke to a judge who gave a score the opposite way. So the other 2 judges had given it to X fighter, but Y fighter got it in one judge's eyes, and he went to him afterwards and said, why did you give it to him? And he said something along the line, when they were in an exchange, some elbows were thrown and it sounded like someone smashing open a coconut with an elbow. It was so loud that he thought that was clearly significant damage, and clearly a pivotal point of the fight. So he gave it the other way. So the judges are interpreting things real time. They're very close to the cage. I don't know if they react to the crowd, but sometimes it does seem like they do. And we still don't know what their backgrounds are and what they're doing. So how do we get past this? Well, if you're Paddy, you don't give a shit right now. You don't care. Why would you care? Has it damaged his stock? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But maybe not. Because I guarantee people are going to queue up now to see him get knocked out. He's notorious for leaving his hands down low. I think, as he said once, he's always fought that way. No one's knocked him out yet. Doesn't mean it's not coming, Paddy. There's some killers out there that only need to graze that chin. But clearly he's built for the sport. I feel like there are so many fights this is happening now. Now, if this is a title fight, would we have said Gordon won it? Should the title change hands when it's that close? Because you hear that argument too. The champion did enough and the opponent didn't take it from them. There's definitely some conversations to be had about scoring and understanding it all. And when the commentators don't know, who have got years and years of experience, the fighters don't know. I mean, I suppose the refs may be getting some insight afterwards, having conversations with these people. But again, no one's coming out and saying anything. The commissions are always like the untouchable, all-knowing judges that can never be questioned or looked into. And that's probably a fallout from boxing, because we all know how clean and uncorrupt boxing is. But I don't think it damages Paddy, and I think Gordon's going to get a hell of a fight for his next fight. I think, is it what the UFC wanted? Nah. UFC wanted Paddy to go out and smoke him. That's what they wanted. This is a fight they're building. Gordon, on the other hand, now deserves a hell of a lot of respect, and he needs to be getting some fights as well. And will we see it again? Will they run it back? I'm not sure. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Ryan, because we was actually talking about this earlier on, and about scoring. And I think I was making the case for open scoring. Well, I know I was saying, how different would that third round have been had everyone known what the scorecards were? Now, as a boxing fan, he'd seen that in boxing and said actually it disrupted the sport. And then we got into a bit of a conversation about how there's the mixed modality in MMA. So I don't think we're going to see the same kind of thing. I don't think we're going to see people dancing around the octagon, as it were. And it's only 3 rounds. But between us, we seem to come up with this interesting concept of a blind first 2 rounds, or a first round. So the first round, you don't know who's won what. And at the end of the second, you get the first and second round scoring to really spice up the third. And then maybe in a 5-round fight, you do that at the end of round 3. I think it helps the fighters, but it still doesn't help us knowing what the hell they're scoring. I still don't know. And when you see 2 judges giving Gordon the 3rd round, which I don't think you could argue, Paddy didn't do anything other than just stay still, to one judge giving him the round. I don't know. Paddy will go on. The hype will still be there. He might have some haters now, more than he's got normally, but I don't think that's a bad thing anyway. I think he'll still get the hype, but I think some fighters on the roster are just a little less scared of him right now. They're thinking, you keep that hand low, kid, and I'll crack you. And is Paddy going to go work on that? He's a confident guy. He just, he's been chin checked a lot of times. It hurt. Yeah, one of those shots definitely hurt. That definitely hurt. But there are other fighters that hit way, way harder. So for me, I'm still riding the Paddy train. He's still Paddy the Baddie, not Paddy the Robber. It was a close fight. I feel sorry for Gordon, but equally, if you've got the UFC media behind you, you are not losing those decisions. And, at the end of the fight, one face was a bit bashed up more than the other face. And I'm biased so don't listen to a word I'm saying. I'm sure you've all made your own opinion. But this is a good one for me because I know the haters are coming. And Paddy's going to get more scrutiny now than he ever did. And his next fight is going to be bigger than ever. And guess what? I'll be watching, and I know everyone else will be. So keep going, Paddy. Gordon, well done, mate. You deserve a big fight. You deserve another fight. And you need your props. The argument definitely could be made that you won the fight. And I know that most people out there think you did. So well done, mate. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Hit the thumbs up, the bells, all of that other fun stuff. And if you disagree, which I'm pretty sure you should, let me know about it. Also, quick shout out again, Ryan, my friend who I spoke to before. He's got a channel, Box Talk, that he used to do back in the day. He's now revamping it. He's with his boy. I think they're calling it Old Lion, Young Tiger. His son's a big MMA fan. Ryan's a big boxing fan. They stuck out their first video the other week. It's bloody excellent. There's a bit of banter in there. Some good knowledge from a very young man. Get your eyes on it. It's well worth a watch. Take care.